All right, guys.
We are forever flat.
We've all been through a lot last several years.
But life is all about
Family. Family. Family.
I will not answer one more question with my shirt on. This is my first serious relationship.
Things are different, but they're good.
A lot of people wanting me to set them up with you.
There's no place like home.
Welcome to Platteville, tonight 9:30 on TLC.
Digicel TV, home of Rugby League. Dial *515# to subscribe.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. I'm Maricela Kelaton. This is TVWAN News. In this edition, ambulance service reports calm Christmas night, UPNG record poor accountability status, and hunters break for festive holidays. For the first time in a long while, Matala Ward in Kombu Rural Local Level Government in East New Britain Province observed Christmas peacefully this year. The true spirit of Christmas was evident as parents and children freely walked on the road to enjoy the Christmas lights at the newly built Rabaul Gela Gela Sports Oval. The resettlement areas of Kombu Rural Local Level Government have always made headlines due to their constant ethnic clashes. The wards of Nodup, Baai and Matalao are notorious for the years of fighting, killing and burning of properties. This soon slowed down, especially for Gela Gela in Matalao, when one of their own was elected as the provincial member. Under the leadership of Governor Michael Marum, significant changes were evident, including the installation of street lights, construction of small roadside market facilities, and the opening of the multi-purpose Rabaul Gela Gela Sports Oval. The National St. John Ambulance Council reported today that it was relatively calm Christmas as they had ambulance crews hard at work ensuring communities remained safe during the festive season.
The National St. John Ambulance Service says it was a relatively calm Christmas. According to the ambulance service, 18 ambulance crews were on duty each day across 4 provinces: Central, Morobe, East New Britain and the National Capital District. Christmas operations began 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve and concluded 6 a.m. on Boxing Day. The ambulance crews attended to 227 emergency incidents in total, each one delivering life-saving care where it was needed most. Duty Operations Commanding Officer Lawrence Stevens said the Green Angels responded to a wide range of emergencies. including motor vehicle accidents, childbirth complications, respiratory problems, trauma, and even snake bites. CO Stevens said the teams were supported by regional commanders, rapid response doctors in NCD, and other medical support units, ensuring a swift and coordinated response. In total, 26 emergency response units were on call across the regions, reinforcing the efforts of the frontline crews. He encouraged communities to continue celebrating responsibly because it allowed them to focus on those in need. Salome Vincent, TVWAN News.
Christmas has come and gone while teachers nationwide are yet to get their leave fare entitlements. Morobe Province is not excluded from this challenging situation as teachers have been gathering at the Morobe Provincial Education Office for 3 weeks now.
Teachers are still waiting to get their leave fare entitlements so they can return to their home provinces to spend time with family. Teachers in Morobe Province have been going to Tutumang House and standing in long lines for 3 weeks now. The Morobe Provincial Government has its 2 million kina parked and is still waiting for the 7 million kina contribution from the national government to fully sort out the over 1,000 teachers. The Morobe Provincial Administration advised this newsroom that a decision had to be made to at least ease the situation. Therefore, only those traveling by road to the highlands, Madang, or within Morobe will get their 5,000 kina entitlement. In a memo, Morobe's Provincial Program Advisor for Education, Keith Tangui, asked the teachers traveling by road to collect their confirmation letters today. For teachers from the southern region, New Guinea Islands region, Sundown, and East Sepik Province, he asked for their continued understanding as they await the release of funds for the second batch of payments. Teachers who will be traveling to the highlands, Madang, or within Morobe will be given a flat rate of 5,000 kina, while the other provinces will get 10,000. Some frustrated teachers have taken to social media to appeal to the government to prioritize their affairs as they always face this issue. Salome Vincent, TVWAN News.
This December 2024 marks the midway point between the 2022 and the 2027 National General Election. Transparency International PNG is sounding the alarm over a lack of any real action to address the failings of the 2022 National General Election and the many problems experienced in past elections.
In a statement issued recently, Transparency International PNG stated it has observed the election process over 2 decades and the verdict is that the management and conduct of our elections is severely flawed. It is now calling for action to address the failings of the 2022 National General Election and the many significant failures in all stages of the election process, from preparation, conduct, delivery, and declaration. Key issues identified by TIPNG in 2022 included glaring inaccuracies and anomalies in the electoral roll, a lack of enforcement against election offences, non-adherence with constitutional requirements, constant disruptions during ballot counting, chaos during the declaration of certain seats, widespread election-related violence, and the proliferation of guns. TIPNG stated that Parliament established the Special Parliamentary Committee on the 2022 general elections to investigate and report its findings to improve the conduct of elections. The committee's report was presented by Committee Chairman and Isipik Governor Aled Bird to Parliament at the end of 2023. It is still to be debated and adopted in Parliament by all sitting MPs. The Prime Minister's response then was that the government is fully aware of how weak the electoral process is and proceeded to support it with substantial funding to the PNG Electoral Commission, the police and related agencies. Peter Aitzi, TIPNG Board Chair, said the issues of 2022 cannot be resolved with last-minute fixes, considering we are 2 years away from the 2027 general elections. In the recently approved 2025 national budget, the PNGEC was allocated 15.6 million kina. TIPNG says this underscores its concern that the Electoral Commission is still not being allocated the essential resources it needs in non-election years to adequately prepare for the upcoming election, and this presents a serious threat to the integrity and effectiveness of the 2027 elections. TIPNG is calling on all members of Parliament to prioritize the immediate adoption of the recommendations in the Special Parliamentary Report on the 2022 National General Elections and to ensure the allocation of appropriate levels of funding as per the electoral cycle to enable required preparations and any reforms to be carried out in time. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. Among stories after the break, IPA ranks first in accountability. Automobile companies sign MOU.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
The Toyota JD Hi-Ace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hi-Ace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hi-Ace bus and experience the Hi-Ace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectation.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bungim Yumi.
It's not the time, lick, dirty. 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 It's not the time, lick, dirty.
It's lick, dirty time.
On the first screening of Plesman, no MPC, catch the rerun on Saturday, 28 December at 7 p.m. on TVWAN+. How may change your life to me? The land is a valuable asset. You must walk boom one time, then no can walk one.
Give me and fight must stop.
Welcome back. Ending off the year on a high note, the Investment Promotion Authority is listed at the top of 10 other organizations best performing in accountability by Transparency International of Papua New Guinea. Managing Director Clarence Hood of the Investment Promotion Authority, in the final edition of the Invest PNG newsletter for 2024, highlighted a significant achievement of the organization, being listed number 1 out of 10 best performing organizations in the country by Transparency International of Papua New Guinea. TIPNG in its 2024 Accountability Scoreboard listed IPA number 1 with an audit opinion of being unqualified, simply meaning that IPA's financial statements are accurate and compliant. MD Hood stated that IPA are extremely impressed with this independent assessment ranking and feel challenged to continue to maintain the status quo, but most importantly, raise the benchmark going forward. Furthermore, Hood stated, it is important to note the level of work delivered by IPA this year, highlighting IPA's efforts on driving campaigns for creating an enabling environment for boosting investor confidence. Meantime, other top-performing organizations following behind IPA on the list are Kumul Consolidated Holdings, Daytech PNG Limited, National Agriculture Research Institute, Independence Fellowship Trust, PNG Accident Investigation Commission, Port Moresby Nature Park, Bank of PNG, Pest PNG Limited, and PNG Dataco Limited. Meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, the University of Papua New Guinea ranks the lowest on the list of 10 worst performers on TIPNG's 2024 Accountability Scorecard. Papua New Guineans pay taxes to the state to ensure vital services and processes are delivered. Transparency International of Papua New Guinea states that these institutions are allocated public funds which must be spent in the interest of the public. This is mandated under the Public Finances Management Act of 1995 and requires the production of annual audited reports by applicable agencies. These reports must be timely, accessible, and accurate. Yet, TIPNG has found that out of the 132 public bodies included in the report of the Auditor General 2022 Part 4, about 69%, that is, 91 public bodies had audits in errors, meaning they were years behind on submitting their annual reports and financial statements to the Auditor General's Office for audit. On Friday, 15 November, TIPNG in a statement highlighted that the majority of public bodies have failed to submit annual financial statements as required under the Public Finances Management Act 1995. Many have failed to provide reports for multiple years. TIPNG's accountability scorecard uses publicly available information from the report of the Auditor General Part 4, of which 132 public bodies are recorded. Shockingly, from the list, 80 public bodies had not submitted their 2022 financial statements to be audited. In addition to 183 financial statements for 2021 and prior years have not been submitted for audit. This trend reflects a serious lack of financial management of public funds and represents a direct violation of the Public Finances Management Act 1995. At the very bottom of the 10 worst performers is the University of Papua New Guinea with the audit opinion of disclaimer. This means that there was insufficient evidence for TIPNG to form an opinion. The University of Goroka and University of Natural Resources and Environment are also ranked poorly on this list and carry the same ranking opinion as UPNG. TIPNG urges the government of Papua New Guinea and all public bodies to foster a culture of integrity and accountability by prioritizing transparency, ensuring timely financial reporting, and upholding the law to safeguard public trust and the responsible use of public funds. Nissan Motor Company Limited, Honda Motor Company Limited, and Mitsubishi Motors Corporation have signed a memorandum of understanding to explore the possibility of Mitsubishi Motors' participation, involvement, and synergy sharing in relation to the business integration through the establishment of a joint holding company outlined in an MOU signed between Nissan and Honda. In a statement released on 23rd December by Honda Global, Nissan, Honda and Mitsubishi Motors have reached a basic agreement to proceed with discussions based on the framework established in the Memorandum of Understanding signed by Nissan and Honda on August 1st regarding the commencement of a strategic partnership focused on intelligence and electrification. Mitsubishi Motors has been participating in this framework, and the three companies have been proceeding with discussions. Marking the announcement, Nissan Director, President, CEO and Representative Executive Officer Makoto Ushida said Honda and Nissan have begun considering a business integration and will study the creation of significant synergies between the two companies in a wide range of fields. Honda Director and Representative Executive Officer Toshihiro Mibe said at this time of change in the automobile industry, which is said to occur once every 100 years, they hope that Mitsubishi Motors' participation in the business integration discussions of Nissan and Honda will lead to further social change and that they will be able to become a leading company in creating new value in mobility through business integration. Nissan and Honda will start the discussion with an aim to clarify the possibility of business integration by around the end of January, in line with the consideration of Mitsubishi Motors. The risk uncertainties highlighted in the statement include changes in the economic situation, market demand and competitive environment surrounding the automobile market in and outside Japan, interest rates and other market risk, increases in tariffs, introduction of import regulations and other changes in the major markets of the companies are listed amongst others. According to the Observatory of Economic Complexity, Papua New Guinea imported 184,012,066 million kina in cars, becoming the 156th largest importer of cars in the world. At the same time, cars were the 20th most important product in the country. Cars were primarily imported from Japan, this valued at 89,366,515 million kina. We apologize, we're unable to bring you the finance report as it was not provided to us. You're watching TVWAN News. We'll have news from overseas when we come back. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people. From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans. Expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend. PNG's own coffee.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in Tokyo, or old, let's raise family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite for minds. Sandy, see, cola, scale, rice, on scale price. Sandy, see, cola, scale, rice, on scale price. Amber, you like it?
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
gosh, we're ready to go.
Full show custom, that's what we want.
That's what we do around here. That ain't no stock regular no more. You're always trying to outdo yourself. People are gonna take notice for sure.
Get out the way. Oh, look at that.
Are you liking it?
Trying not to cry.
Texas Metal, tonight, 8:30 on Turbo.
Thanks for staying with us. Israel and Hamas have accused each other of complicating ceasefire efforts as they inch closer to a deal that could wind down the 14-month war in Gaza. The two sides appear closer than they have been in months to reaching an agreement that would bring home dozens of hostages being held in Gaza. However, talks have come close before, only to collapse. Although Israel and Hamas have expressed optimism that progress was being made toward a deal, sticking points remain over the exchange of hostages for Palestinian prisoners and the withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza, people involved in the talks say. On Wednesday, Hamas accused Israel of introducing new conditions related to the withdrawal from Gaza, the prisoners and the return of displaced people, which it said was delaying the deal. On a scorching 36-degree day in Adelaide, some residents were forced to evacuate their homes as local fire crews battled a major uncontrolled grass fire in the city's north. With temperatures set to soar further, total fire bans have been declared across 5 districts in South Australia for Boxing Day, leaving authorities on high alert.
On a hot and windy day, authorities wasted no time attacking the fire from all angles.
Certainly an intense fire with high stakes. This is a highly populated area with the grass fires burning right up to the edge of the property boundaries.
Residents in Adelaide Smithfield preparing for the worst.
When we first got there, it was small, but it quickly spread pretty quickly.
When I come closer, it's really spread it out too fast.
High winds pushing the fire and threatening some homes.
Whoa, right up there. We were able to evacuate safely residents from a number of surrounding streets for about an hour. Gave us an opportunity to get in there and slow the fire down and extinguish it.
Authorities believe the blaze started behind an army training facility and quickly spread across 27 acres. It took 17 fire crews and aerial water bombers to get the flames under control.
Fire crews remained at the scene for many hours, putting out several hotspots. The Metropolitan Fire Service says the cause of the fire is yet to be determined.
Christmas celebrations have been abruptly cancelled for hundreds of residents in Victoria's West after a bushfire flared out of control in the afternoon. Authorities issued an emergency warning for people living in Moyston and Pomonal as the Grampians fire reignited. The fire's watch and act warning areas have also been expanded. Authorities are urging Victorians to stay alert, with fears that tomorrow could be even worse due to extreme heat and strong winds forecast for Boxing Day.
Looming danger leading to a Christmas message no one wanted.
Residents south of Pomonal have been issued with a leave immediately warning.
This bushfire emergency comes less than a year since another blaze destroyed 46 homes near the town in Victoria's West.
Anxiety levels between the brigade members and the local community are pretty high.
Crews have battled this fire in the Grampians National Park for a week. Its steep, dry, dense terrain is making containment a challenge.
A spot fire is a chance to break out anywhere. You just don't know or when.
Today, conditions worsened. Hundreds of firefighters cancelled festive celebrations.
It means time away from family, but this is what we've got to do, and so we do it.
I'm not really thinking about Christmas. It's about people are the priority.
Lee Dawson has left her own farm to save others.
I've got plenty of anxiety, but been in it long enough to know that this is just going to happen if I'm not around at the farm there's no chance of me saving it.
The biggest concern:
Boxing Day. Boxing Day. Boxing Day with those really hot temperatures, those really hot northerly winds and that westerly change that's coming through will be the concern for fire authorities right across Victoria.
Firefighters near Gisborne, north of Melbourne, are working around the clock.
You might not see anything coming towards you and you feel comfortable and you think this is burning away from me, and then all of a sudden you'll get this wind change and that finger will turn into a fire front heading towards you.
Some residents are getting out now, just to be safe.
My wife and I are in our 90s. My CFA days are long past.
There are also fears new fires could spark up and stretch resources even further. Authorities are pleading with Victorians to only travel if it's absolutely essential, and no matter where they are, to have a fire plan.
Tomorrow will be a day where every Victorian needs to be ready to take action.
As conflict in the Middle East continues, an organization in Beirut, Lebanon, which started as a charity supermarket for the elderly, is now feeding thousands. It's largely supported by donations from the Lebanese diaspora, including those from Australia. The Middle East correspondent Matthew Doran spoke to one of the founders.
This is a charity organization that started in 2019. It was set up by me and my husband because we just wanted to give a small supermarket for the elders who don't have any retirement pensions in Lebanon, knowing that elders represent 11% of the total population, which is the highest number in the entire Middle East and North Africa. So we started with this small concept, and 9 months later, in 2019, the revolution started. And all of a sudden, we found ourselves completely blown away and things went out of proportion. So we had to transform Beit el-Baraka from a retirement pension, if you want, support system into an emergency relief organization. And this is when the war started, we were able to support immediately. So the pressure is having to constantly adapt to something new because, you know what, every person works in his or her own field of expertise. No one is capable of working on so many fields. So today the crises in Lebanon are the following. You have food shortage, you have medicine shortage, you have housing shortage. And this has been going on for 5 years now, since the revolution. Not that the revolution caused it, on the contrary, the revolution was just to open the eyes of everyone. And then you have the biggest problem, which is education. People don't have access to their funds in order to pay their tuition fees. So what happened with the war? First of all, people got displaced, 1.2 million. We all know this number. We've heard it so many times. But what does it actually mean? 1.2 million were displaced when the war started, but then they went back home. Most of them found no homes to come back to. So now all the 973 public schools that were transformed into shelters are now empty. And people went back to the south, to the Bekaa, to Dahi. But the people from the south and the Bekaa particularly are farmers and they're small producers. So these are people of the land who never ask for help because these are people with dignity, you know. But during the war, we were capable of managing things in a different way because we registered ourselves in the governorate of Beirut's emergency department, and it was a department set up a few days before the actual war. So we asked the governor to give us 28 schools that were transformed into shelters, exclusively operated by us, by Beit el-Baraka. And there you had more than 20,000 people that we were offering food to on a daily basis, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. These people are now a bit everywhere, in cars, in shelters within their municipalities, at relatives, whatever. But when they were in the schools, we provided mattresses, bed sheets, quilts, pillows, whatever it took to at least give them some dignity while sleeping.
How difficult was it to sort of ramp up when those services were so gravely needed, particularly those kitchens that you were running in schools? That would have had to be a pretty quick operation to get that off the ground. How difficult was that?
It was terribly difficult, but the thing is, you know, when you've lived through the August 4, 2020 explosion in the Beirut port, I think you can live through anything. The Beirut port explosion, unfortunately, was a learning curve for us to work under extreme pressure, extreme violence, extreme disorganization, and find your way through and navigate through the challenges. We receive a lot of funding from private donors in Australia, and we're registered in the United States as well. It's actually a roller coaster because when the COVID started, it was a peak. Then it was another peak downwards. And then after the explosion, again, another peak, and 2 months later, a peak downwards. Now, the peak was, of course, 23 September. It was fabulous. I mean, people were mobilized everywhere. The big problem now is that, of course, when you hear ceasefire, you automatically stop donating. But the problem is that the suffering starts now because people are no longer in shelters. You still have to give them food. You still have to give them homes. You have to, the need is now bigger than ever, but donations have stopped. So there's a lot of work. The Lebanese people are known for this. We rebound very quickly. We bounce back very quickly. And we're a happy population, no matter what. So uncrushable.
China and Japan agreed on Wednesday to set up talks on often contentious security issues as they seek to improve a relationship riven in recent years by a range of issues, from territorial disputes to the discharge of water from Japan's tsunami-wrecked nuclear power plant. Japanese Foreign Minister Takeshi Iwaya, on his first trip to China since assuming the post in October, sounded positive after meetings with Chinese Premier Li Qiang and Foreign Minister Wang Yi, saying the talks were very candid and wide-ranging. Wang agreed to visit Japan next year for a high-level economic dialogue, including cooperation on the environment, energy, conservation, and health and nursing care. Japan announced an easing of visa requirements for Chinese visitors following China's recent decision to allow Japanese to enter without a visa. Have you ever heard of trading it all in to live on a beautiful deserted island? That's exactly what one couple has done, taking over a research station on the Great Barrier Reef while raising their child on this remote piece of paradise. Reporter Scott Wallen has more.
For most people, expansive blue oceans and the remote island is a dreamy holiday destination. But for one Australian couple, this tiny island is their home.
We are designed to be in nature and living in nature, and I think it feels right. Yeah, it feels right for us. It's not for everyone.
Ruby Holmes and Heinrich Brauer are caretakers of One Tree Island, a research station run by the University of Sydney, 100 kilometres off the coast of central Queensland. It's where they are raising their toddler, Lucas.
I'm so grateful that I get to bring my child up where he's just around nature, and that's his stimulation, is the birds and the ocean and the fish.
No screens, no daycare, just the three of them and the ocean. But their decision to raise Lucas in this island paradise was not made lightly. When Ruby left One Tree Island to give birth, the university still had a no kids policy in place.
We still weren't sure if we were definitely going to be able to come back. Yeah, it was interesting, so we were in a bit of limbo.
But by the time they were ready to return, the policy had changed.
So we returned when he was 3 months old, and it was scary. We were questioning whether we were doing the right thing bringing him out here, but it's the best thing we ever did, and he absolutely loves it.
This island is internationally renowned for its research opportunities on the Great Barrier Reef, meaning their main task is to ensure the island runs smoothly.
I mainly take care of all the boats. I do transfers, boating inductions, a lot of maintenance on the vessels, getting people ready to go out and do their experiments. I look after the water treatment plant for our fresh water, so we run on drinking water out here, and that all needs to be treated. We have our own rubbish collection, so that all has to be taken care of and exported off the island.
Heinrich and I are parents, a couple, and workmates, and it's just us, and so that comes with challenges, and it's hard to switch off because there is always, like, you know, the middle of the night something breaks, who fixes it? It's us.
In their downtime, the family enjoy snorkeling, surfing and kayaking.
Everyone would think that this job is really isolating, but it's like the total opposite. We're just constantly having new people.
But the logistics of living so far away can be challenging.
So we actually order our food online once a fortnight, and it's a pretty big process. So it goes to the barge yard, and then the barge goes to Heron, and then we take one of our boats to Heron to pick it up.
Emergency situations can also be daunting.
Lucas actually got scarlet fever out here, which was really scary, but it was so reassuring because the doctor on the other line was like, okay, if it gets worse, the worst case scenario is evacuating via helicopter, emergency through the Royal Flying Doctors Service, but we didn't need to get to that point. Our life revolves around the weather and the tides. We check the weather and the tides constantly, and everything we do is surrounded. It's not about time, it's not about Monday to Friday, it's what's the tide doing, what's the weather doing, and then we plan around that.
Their plan is to live and look after this pocket of paradise for as long as possible.
It's a really bright future for Lucas. He's meeting a lot of really great people. Eventually he'll have to either go to boarding school or to normal school, so we'll have to cross that bridge. But at the moment it's to stay for as long as we can.
I just love that. I hope it carries with him throughout his life, and he's a steward for the environment and the ocean.
A number of Australian zookeepers have taken time off from their day jobs to help orphaned bears in Southeast Asia, victims of the illegal wildlife trade. 7 keepers from Sydney's Taronga Zoo travelled to Laos to learn their skills at a sanctuary caring for rescued cubs.
It's back to Taronga Zoo in Sydney for these zookeepers. They recently returned from Laos, where they volunteered to help vulnerable bear cubs saved from the illegal wildlife trade.
It was also so heartbreaking because the 18 cubs that were seized and rescued from these poachers would have all had their mums killed out in the wild.
It's thought that was the world's largest single bear rescue, and the animals would have been destined for life on an inhumane bear bile farm. The illegal practice is used to extract chemicals from the gallbladders of bears to be used in traditional Chinese medicine. The Australian charity Free the Bears operates in Cambodia, Laos and Vietnam. It's just had the busiest year in its history.
Our population of bears has gone up by 25% in a single year. That places huge strain on us from all angles just to look after these animals. If this continues next year, I do really fear for the future.
Now, if you've ever been to Taronga Zoo before, then you very well may have seen the resident sun bear here, Mary. And it was working with her that inspired the zookeepers to travel to Laos to volunteer their time and their skills. Her parents were rescued 17 years ago.
There's a deep connection there, and so I feel like there's a lot of suffering in the world with animals, and sometimes you feel like there's no hope. Any way that I can help out is worth it for me.
The team at Taronga has carried out work for the animals to enhance the quality of their lives at the rescue centre.
We were predominantly making enrichment, so that involved us making things like hammocks, feeder toys. We even made a barrel raft, which is something that the bears absolutely loved, and they were able to play with it for ages.
The keepers are planning on making it an annual trip.
And that ends the news segment. Later in sports, Hunters break for festive season and Rex Perigua excels in AFL.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Let me take you back. We've lost what pure street racing was. That's about to change. I'm getting back to my roots, getting back on the street. Yeah! I love this car. We're here. It's time. Let's see what we're going to do. This is a whole different game. I'm pretty good at this racing thing.
Street Outlaws starts Tuesday, January 7 on Turbo.
Welcome everyone, my name is Bhumi.
I won't let you give up on your dreams. You've worked so hard for them. You can easily find a job here in Ujjain.
A job? I think that you have made a mistake.
I think we should ask the children first.
In my family, we don't allow the children to overrule. They respect the decisions made by all of the elders.
Yes. Taken! And another terrific catch. What placement? This is an onslaught from Harmanpreet Kaur.
So much of what we've seen from the West Indian batters.
Adjustment from left-handed to right-handed into my finger goes up. And taken! That's a huge wicket.
You can find all our local news, sports and entertainment on the TVWAN Extra page on our website. TVWAN Extra gives you access to Scope, Hunters and digital ExxonMobil Cup highlights and many more. Just one click to access. Stay updated, stay entertained. TVWAN Online, just one click away.
Welcome back. The SPPNG Hunters concluded Block 1 of pre-season training programs on a high note. Over 40 players initially brought into camp have performed exceptionally well to the best of their ability over the past 2 months. While the players have made a big statement, they want to keep their spots in the team. Only 30-odd players will return for Block 2 of pre-season after the new year.
In a recent media interview just before the team broke camp for the festive season, Hunters assistant coach Warto Puara Jr. said the players are still putting in the hard work and effort to make Block 2 of the pre-season. The coaches are also having headaches to decide which players to pick. The Block 1 of the pre-season ended on Saturday, 18th December 2024, allowing players to go home and spend Christmas and New Year with their families and then wait for the second block to start after New Year. Warto was speaking on behalf of head coach Paul Aiton, said all the players have been putting in the hard work, especially in their fitness. He said the players are giving each other good competition to secure a spot in the team for Block 2. This is quite different from previous camps with a lot of really good talent who are young and willing to work hard and learn new skill. They have been doing really well with good attitude towards training. However, the real test is yet to come when the boys return from the break and put through more stringent testing process to see if they have been able to stick to clear instructions about maintaining standard team discipline while celebrating the festive season with their families and loved ones, especially maintaining same fitness level and staying healthy. It is understood only 30 to 35 players will return for Block 2 of the pre-season, which will include a number of trial matches internally and outside with a number of QRL teams. While up on the release of the official draw for 2025 by QRL, Hunters will play 10 home games and 10 away, including multiple byes, similar to the 2024 season. Puara said though they are excited about the draw, the main focus for the team is getting the players ready physically and mentally and want to be the last team standing in 2025. The Hunters will open their campaign playing 2 away games against Mackay Cutters on Saturday, 8th March 2025 in Mackay, followed by Sunshine Coast Falcons on March 16 before they go on a bye. Hunters host Brisbane Tigers in their first home game on Saturday, March 30 at the National Football Stadium. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Battle of Morata between two Morata teams, M3 Bulldogs and Mountain Bulls, in the 2024 NCD Governors Cup playoffs ended in favour of the Bulls. The Mountain Bulls overpowered Bulldogs 22-0 on the Boxing Day affair at the Corner Tigers Oval. The dominant performance in the rain saw Bulls keeping its opponent scoreless and took home a deserving win. The victory gifted Bulls a spot in the quarter-finals playoffs expected next week. The M3 Bulldogs bow out of the competition. In the day's other matches, D8 Mosquitoes defeated Surrey Hawks 14-12 in a close contest. Nambi Storms and Vanu Dust ended scoreless in the Women's Cup playoffs. After a 4-year absence of the Gahuku off-season rugby league competition is back with the full support of the Goroka District Development Authority, Chairman and MP Aye Tambua and Goroka DDA CEO Benson Imara.
The National Park in the heart of Goroka town is the only venue where the biggest off-season rugby league competition is being played. It is the biggest off-season rugby league competition in Eastern Highlands and the country. This off-season rugby league competition returns after a 4-year absence. It has the full backing of the member for Goroka, Aye Tambua, and Goroka DDA CEO Benson Imara. The games are coordinated by 10 representatives from Goroka Urban, Gahuku and Minimalo villages.
And so far, you go inside the round 3 from now. And to thank you. Games, play nice, tough. Now good looking plan to go to Mangi stuff inside. So we go home as a
Saka said the competition included 9 matches and 13 matches. There are 36 men's teams, 16 women's teams, and 8 under-16 teams. According to the Competition Judiciary Committee Chairman Alken Monemone, Mr. Tambu approached them with the idea of reviving the competition.
Play official league inside the whole years. Now me playing start because some kind of problem, administration, all previous all presidents were on the running game. Now me playing start also 4 years. That's all behind this 4 years. I think we had one we country not happening need move forward by so putting one team outside Australia, NRL.
Goroka Rugby League wants to establish a pathway for its young rugby league talents to be able to enter bigger competitions and rugby league development programs. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
Former schoolboys AFL player and Goroka Bombers rising star Rex Peragua is relishing the opportunity to represent his country with pride. The young Southern Highlander made his debut for the national team, the PNG Mosquitoes, that recently won the inaugural Pacific AFL Cup Challenge in Queensland, Australia in November 2024. He was also picked the Best Groundsman Player Award at the tournament.
The centreman forward player joined the academy program Binatangs in 2016 while playing for the Bomana Cats. He was one of 3 players picked to attend the Gold Coast Suns Academy Elite Training Program. He made his international debut at the junior rank representing the PNG Under-16 Binatangs at the Oceania Cup in Fiji early this year. While he was part of the academy program, Rex was playing for West till 2019 before joining Goroka Bombers. After a breakout season with the Bombers showing his class in the game and the incredible skill level, Rex was rewarded with a spot on the national team, the PNG Mosquitoes, to the Pacific AFL Cup Championships in Australia. He was one of 20 debutants who performed exceptionally well at the championships, which PNG won after defeating Nauru. Rex took the opportunity with both hands and never let the team and the country down, scooping up 3 awards for his outstanding overall performances.
Big achievement straight. Without lo gara boys lo team and minuna psisla lawad na. So me come me go stop me and then arba batam go stop until the state. Come back. School me just on I'm start na. School start. Otherwise I me enjoy la tournament Genebro. AFL kamanda ko now. Stop. The privilege na on a straight lo. Where is la? Jisi stop kala. Play comes, school bus come na goal big kamangi play na. So we're talking like one by time, one by where is the jump now where in na mas no. No me one half of the team me bla gara mangi debut. So one kind feeling me gara mo gara boosting guy.
Son of former renowned rugby league whistleblower and army officer Joe Peragua, young Rex is following his own dreams in AFL. He was born out of a military family and grew up at Murray Barracks. Rex said at 10 years of age, he used to watch a lot of school's AFL games at Murray Barracks, and that's how he developed a passion for the game in 2010.
We start play 2010, Milik Manjit. Play lo school boys, competition. So come through lo, pathway lo. Bilang thanks, 2016. 17, 18, the state team, Baran stop lo, on the Sen Gate le Brisbane, come again. COVID bagarapin but, yun yung give stop na wait COVID finish, still continue to play it.
On his other aspirations and goals of playing overseas, Rex said his main focus now is to continue to work hard to better his game. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Amongst the petition points to the Cricket PNG board, the PNG Barramundis and PNG Laos demand the reinstatement of Jack Vare and C. Johang, who were terminated earlier this month. Both were also involved in petitioning the board to terminate the contract of Cricket PNG CEO Richard Dunn.
Cricket national representative teams, the PNG Barramundis and PNG Laos, have demanded for the reinstatement of physiotherapist C.E. Johang and PNG Garamut's coach Jack Vare. Both were terminated early December for their involvement in petitioning the Cricket PNG board to terminate the contract of Cricket PNG CEO Richard Dunn. Johang was the unofficial spokesperson supporting the petition with Vare's support. Both had been pushing for transparency when they were removed from the organization.
I was sacked from CPNG because of my involvement in the petition. I was the unofficial spokesperson for the movement to remove the CEO, and the board received the petition and they proceeded to fix all the issues without working on the main concern. So part of the issue is them reacting only to the petition.
Players' representative and PNG Barramundis player Nosaina Pokana is calling on the Cricket PNG board to revisit their decision and reinstate Vare and Johang.
We wish to make it clear that we, as the players, stand united in the decision to not train until our physio and strength and conditioning coach C. Johang and under-19 Garamut's head coach Jack Vare are reinstated. The termination of the two was unjust, and we are committed to seeing this issue resolved. Until C and Jack reinstatement is confirmed, we will resume training.
Meantime, the Barras and Laos are prepared to call off training sessions and international tours if the board does not take appropriate actions outlined in their petition. Everyone supporting their petition is anticipating a positive outcome. Rex Litter, TV1 Sports.
That's all in sport. We'll now have the weather forecast. Southern, Port Moresby, mostly cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Daru, some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Momase, Lay, cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Wewak, mostly cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. New Guinea Islands, Kavieng, Kokopo and Rabaul, partly cloudy with some rain showers. Kimbe, rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Highlands, Mount Hagen, cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm in the afternoon. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Coral Sea, sea slight with south to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Solomon Sea, sea slight with northwest to southerly winds of 5 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, sea smooth with northwest to northeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. Pacific Ocean, sea slight with east to northeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru, Kiwai Islands, Kerema and Tuyul Island, and waters of Samaria Island to Cape Bogle and all Milimbe Islands, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. And waters of Cape Bogle to Huon Gulf to Finchafan, and waters of Finchafan to Vitia Strait to CSA Long Island, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And that wraps up the news tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.